Movies. The average person can be inspired by them. They can make us laugh. Movies can keep us on the edge of our seat, and so much more. Maddie's Movie Mix is a podcast for movie enthusiasts of all kinds. We hope you enjoy the show.
Wait. Matt Logan!
Yes, we both had the same problem. You.
Listen. You smell something?
When I looked this movie up, Tyler, it was like
last night.
Mystery. I just Googled mystery or whatever. Actually, Brave. I like Brave better. But this movie popped up. Last Night in Soho.
Should be the only night in Soho.
It should be like non-existent in Soho.
Oh my gosh.
Well, imagine if some of this was true, though.
That would
like
be
some of the creepy things in the 60s were true.
There is.
Right.
Especially in London.
True.
Actually, I don't know why I said especially London. But there's a history there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was, look, it wasn't entertaining.
Not at all.
I'm going to go right there. Yep. However, I'm going to impress you with some of my scores. And I'll explain why.
Oh, good. I just thought you were just going to tell me scores.
I should just rattle them off.
No explanation. This is what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, we needed to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, we did.
And this is a little bit different.
It's always good to talk about bad movies sometimes.
Right.
We could almost have just a bad movie series.
Good things. There's a lot of good things, though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there really was. But Edgar Wright, the director, did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
All mysteries.
Right. At least there was death in home.
That's right.
And there's death in this. But I got to hand it to him for going outside of his comfort zone, doing something like this for sure. I mean, this is way... He was involved in Ant-Man, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this was like way off from that path.
Right. I mean, you're out in a cornfield. This is completely different.
Yeah. I mean, cornfield's good. Like a fully grown cornfield.
Yeah.
You can't see anything around.
That's right.
It's like, I don't know what's going on. Which I didn't know what was going on in the movie.
No. If you take... and again, I think I could agree with where we're going to be going with the points. If you take out the story and just watch everything else, it's interesting.
Yeah. And let's talk about the actors.
Yeah.
So Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, she did
her mannerisms, her facial expressions, the way she looked at the mirror and saw, the counterpart. Super cool.
Yeah. Matt Smith. I like Matt Smith.
Gosh.
Did you see The Crown?
No, but you know what else he's in? Doctor Who.
I do.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah. He was
Although
great.
he's not my doctor.
Yeah.
And number 10. David Tennant's my favorite.
David Tennant is definitely.
Yeah,
for sure. He's good. Been watching Doctor Who recently, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
you
fun.
started with Christopher Eccleston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 4, I think, right now. Like a few episodes into season 4.
Okay, so you're right in the middle of David.
Yep.
Good.
Tennant is he just regenerated again from the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
Episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Matt Smith, Diana Rigg, she was the old lady, like in her 80s at least, 90-ish. B.A. old lady though.
Yeah. Don't mess with her.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Game of Thrones, she was, in Game of Thrones.
Right.
She was the queen or whatever, former queen or whatever it was of.
Who wasn't a former queen in that show?
Yeah, exactly. Good point. And so she brought a lot to the cast, obviously. Yep. And there was a few other supporting that did very well.
Who names an actor or a character Jocasta?
I know.
Where in the world? Yeah. Like, did someone get in trouble and say that's Jocasta? Like, it's gonna cost you money? Because that was the only way I'm putting those letters together.
Yeah. the thing too, let's say how good this movie was. The budget was $43 million.
Yep.
It did $23 million.
Almost made it.
Yeah.
No. I remember seeing this movie I was seeing the trailer in other movies, and I was like, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
I was even talking to some of my friends about what movie we're reviewing tonight, and all of them are like, yeah, it looked interesting, but I never watched it.
Right.
Well, we talked about the actors. Do we score it?
Let's not score.
Okay.
Let's circle back to that.
We're suspense.
We're gonna jump it. I'm gonna go real critical on this one first.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be critical. I just like to talk about.
Let's just that's why we get out of the way.
Right. So we're gonna get it out of the way. Overall entertainment, I couldn't stand it. 2.9.
Yeah.
Like I'll never watch it again in my life.
I gave it a 2.5. I mean, it was the story didn't make sense.
No.
You know what would have been cool? Like, okay, spoiler, because now we've talked about it for a bit, and I can say spoiler. Old lady kills everybody and buries it or puts them underneath the flooring.
Right, in the walls.
They could have done an Edgar Allan Poe type thing.
Right.
And where did the main character get these premonitions? And why didn't they actually match up to what actually happened? Where does that disconnect happen?
Yeah. It was written poorly. I mean, if we had a rating for writing, it would probably be like a 1.5 or something.
On a good day.
And directing, I mean, yeah, bad. I thought they did a great job together.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm trying to look for positive too, of course, but you believed it.
Yeah.
All of it that I saw, I believed it.
Right.
I mean, I did skip a few parts, but.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah. I don't know.
I might have fallen asleep.
It's hard because, I mean, there's not a lot of actors in it when you look at the cast. Like, when it comes to interactions.
Well, there's all the different bar scenes.
That's true.
And they're going through all of that weird stuff.
Yeah.
That definitely.
That's true.
Quite a bit. It's not, the supporting cast isn't large.
And why did the grandma never come back?
Yeah, I don't know.
She was clearly struggling.
Right.
Even over the phone.
Right.
And her mom had issues. And again, maybe that's not actor chemistry. If we're going back to story, I'm sorry.
No, I know. It's hard. We're trying to connect it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But that's kind of the reason I wanted to do these different scores.
Yeah.
Because you can put them in the different compartments, right?
Yeah.
And it's like there can be good things in a movie and there can be not so good things. And so when you lump them all or most of them together, for me, right?
Yeah.
So
I gave it a 3.9.
Okay.
So
I'm a 4.4.
Okay.
I thought they did great.
Yeah.
I mean, especially is it Anya? Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya.
It's Anya, so I would assume it's Anya, I think.
Anya, yeah. So I got to get
with
her
the
name
British
right.
accent that I can't do.
Yeah. No, I can't either.
Anya? No, that's not it.
Good day, mate. Wait,
Crikey.
The dingo ain't my baby.
They were interesting.
I thought so too.
You had the. Okay, here's another thing I don't understand.
You just got a wrench on that.
Why did they go?
Trying to understand it.
She spent 2 days with a terrible roommate. Why didn't she at least ask to see if she could switch rooms? Because she felt like
this is London.
I see France. I don't know.
Tough it out.
But instead, I'm going to go pay for a whole other. Like, I would assume she would have had to pay for that still.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
schooling. And so now I'm going to pay to have this whole apartment where I have hallucinations.
And then she's got to go get a job.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But I guess,
anyway.
Okay, college campus.
To connect, I know,
the
it
apartments.
doesn't make any sense.
They had to get the story there somehow of how she got to this apartment, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, all the locations were interesting. I mean, her house or her room in the apartment was really creepy.
It's a bit old-fashioned for some, but I won't do nothing to it.
which is
right,
what it was set
and
to
the
be.
house all together, right,
Yeah.
was kind of cool. I mean,
Right.
the old stairs you went up, and clearly an old house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different
bars.
locations. They have even when they're outside, you got the pavement, you got all the different buildings with different. I mean, she has those. When she was in the '60s, the flash forwards to like these different locations, and you see them in present times, the outside of it. So I thought that was cool.
yeah, I do too. I gave it a 4.6 because they did a lot of different locations. I mean, they repeated some locations, obviously,
you
which
do
is
in
normal,
stories, yeah.
right? But I thought they did a bang up job.
Yeah. In London, do you have bars on the main floor and then you have ones that are underneath? This shows how much I go to bars in my life. But like, because at the end of like the last one where she was going to
Where she worked?
right, which was
Yeah.
in the basement, but
Right.
wasn't there another bar on the main level? Or was that separate? Or is that just like a restaurant or a pub?
I've never been to England. However, I have been to Ireland.
Basically
and
the same thing.
it's very similar. And so, yes, there are.
Okay.
That does.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. So I have been in the main like bar, and then there's a basement type bar.
I would
It's
assume drug records couldn't get up those stairs.
Yeah,
let's create
You
obstacles.
start in the basement.
Oh, work
and
your
have
way
a
up.
few and work.
There we go.
So then you're on main level. No, I don't know. But a lot of times the bars in the basement are more themed.
Yeah.
My experience, and then they're a little bit more like there's different. Some of them have music and comedy like down in the basement and things like that.
Downstairs seemed to have more of a personality because it seemed a lot closer.
Yeah.
Which again, I think this all ties in. So I was just curious because the amount of bars I've been into in my life, probably 5.
When you said bars, what the first thing I thought of when you said bars on the lower level and
Prison?
No, I haven't been there in a while. No, the what I thought of was bars on windows. I'm like, wait, 'cause clearly I'm a bar.
We don't want them getting out. That's right. So, yeah, I gave the locations a 4.1.
Okay. Did I say my score?
I think you said 4.6.
I did. All right.
Getting themes from the 60s.
Right.
This goes more to music. I liked the music from the 60s and just like the whole atmosphere. Again, surprisingly, I never lived during that era.
Costume design and score.
Sorry,
It's
I know.
Similar.
It's all the thematics. I mean, you definitely had your 60 clothes, which was cool. They very well separated that. Even hairstyles to what they were wearing to present times was very different.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And then tying it into that she was drawing her inspiration from the past, and you could see that in what she was making.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoyed that too, totally. And how she took the past and tried to make a neat, like, present flair.
While having a mental breakdown.
There's that.
I'm just going to stab people with scissors with no consequences.
Well, with that said, it was towards the end of the film.
That's true.
So maybe
When
there
stabbings
would've
would happen, it's better to be at the end.
been- Right. Yeah, that's so true.
Let's just kill everyone off so we make sure there's no sequels.
Right. And there's some red dress moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. I
Yep.
like when that kind of stuff happens. There was also, the background, let's call them ghosts or whatever that they had in there that were kind of like, that was weird.
Yeah.
They did write that part of it very well,
Yes.
though, I thought.
Well, and I think that's
when they explained.
and I
all
think
of
that's
that.
where the struggle is that this film could have been great.
I agree.
Because it had all of the other pieces in place.
Yes.
Where if the story was at least somewhat congruent,
Yeah.
it would have been so much better. Again, they could have done Edgar Allan Poe type thing, where it was beating from the point, and that's where she realized it was, or at least had more of an inkling that it was. Spoiler, if that needs to be said again, the landowner or the landlord, that did it.
Yeah.
So that by the time she got there, more of the connections would have been placed rather than. You saw she was nervous, but she was just having issues all around.
Yeah. very much so.
Yeah.
And I think that, quite frankly, people around her, and she was freaking out that often and that much, something would have been done.
The teacher even.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I know. But 4.7.
Okay.
Costume design.
We're talking about costumes.
Yeah.
We've transitioned in our conversation. Yeah, I gave it a 4.4. I thought it was, the clothes did look great. And you saw the different time periods and everything else. So
yeah,
it made a lot of sense. I didn't like it. I'll say that. I didn't like the way they rearranged the older songs.
Oh, really?
No.
Why?
To me, it didn't fit the theme well. You could tell what the original song was. They kept a lot of the tunes, but they didn't change enough to make it its own theme into this movie, or keep it original enough where they just, just keep the original.
Sure.
And so for me, it was that weird middle ground where they didn't invest enough one way or the other, which could be changed on your settings, I suppose. But
I don't know. I have changed that, so we'll have to not show camera 3 right now, I guess. So our screen freaked out on us.
We'll be secure of web threats, though.
Yeah, I just fixed that the other day. Anyway,
so
the score.
That's what I struggled with. Is they had a lot of those popular songs, but
I kind of like that. How they changed that up a little bit, and it was more fresh
to some people.
I don't know. Yeah,
from a certain point of view,
right.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi would say.
You could have added Obi-Wan Kenobi in here, and it would have probably gone just fine.
You got that Force Ghost, man. Coming
right.
from the past.
Exactly.
So that was my main issue with the score. And I didn't. This was, again, you said it was a mystery, which by the time you get to the end of it, you can kind of see where the mystery actually comes in. For the first 75% of the film, it's not really a mystery. You're just exploring the past. Is what it seemed, and having mental issues.
Yeah.
So that's neat. But in the end, I see where they got...
That sounded really genuine. That's neat.
But then in the end, they had to tie into a mystery. So they could have gotten more of a thriller or horror, which I wish they would have dived... And again, this is from a person who does not like horror.
Right.
But they should have dived more into that, and it would have been more
was
enjoyable.
not expecting that kind of horror. This literally should be completely horror only, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just doesn't play out throughout the whole movie.
No.
But that's the motivation behind the movie, is that it's a horror.
Right.
But
And I think the music... So for me, the music also struggled because it couldn't really indicate what type of film it was.
Sure.
So I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
0.0.
Really?
I did not like it. Again,
so you like original type stuff, and
well, again, my issue was that they didn't. I feel like it didn't tie into the she liked the past,
right?
So she liked listening to old music. So I understand why it was there. So I either wished it would have stayed the original because that's what she would have been listening to, or if they would have made it more unique for the film.
Sure.
Again, I struggled with the style was very similar where they didn't change it. There's movies that completely remake songs.
Yeah.
Same lyrics, sound completely different.
Right.
And I wish they would have done that more.
Right.
Versus.
I get you. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I did enjoy it 4-1.
Okay.
I enjoyed the score, so.
Man, there was a lot of lights.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
I did too.
I think for me, the cinematography was strongest in this film.
Yeah. I didn't look up who the cinematographer was either, I guess, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
it's on IMDb if you're curious. And let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Because we would love to find out. And we'll let you know in the next film.
And they could also email.
At Maddie's. Nope. That's
what is it?
What the at is at.
Yeah.
legitQ.
There
at
you go.
Maddie'sMovieMix.com. Yeah. Cinematography was strongest. The way this film to me is what should have gone into is thriller mental health is really what I think this film should have done, because that's where a lot of the strong moments were.
Yeah.
And so the way when she started tripping out and the lights kind of had her face like do multiple things and do that weird blurry thing, thought that was really cool. The light from outside of her apartment blinking in was a very solid bright red, and the mirrors and stuff like that, I thought that was all well and incredibly done.
Yeah, and the mirrors, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Anytime you're filming a mirror, obviously. And I thought they did a great job with it. And especially because they were showing the same room.
Yeah.
But in different time periods.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great
Right.
job there too. Obviously, I'm sure it was 2 different sets.
Right.
But I mean, maybe not obviously, but I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm 4-2.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it 4-5. Again,
Yeah.
it was my favorite part of this film. I mean, you could watch it without the settings on your TV, and I could just watch it for the lighting and the way they shoot things, and the way things look.
You could
and
learn
that would
a lot
have been
from
really
it.
enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
For me, it's a 3-2.
Okay. So I flipped over to the emotional more
buddy.
than the
dark side.
A while ago. Exactly. And overall rating of the film I used to do where I would just total up all my scores and divide them, right?
Math nerd.
Exactly. And so I wanted to score this a little bit lower, but then, there were so many good parts, like the cinematography was really good. I did enjoy the music, and I really thought the actors did a great job.
Right.
I mean, I really did. I think the direction in the sense of the acting, the way they interacted, was really well done.
Yeah.
So overall rating is a 3.8.
Okay. Which that does make sense with everything else.
So it's I'm not going to buy it.
No, it did not.
It did not make the cut.
No stamp of Matt's approval.
No. 4.0 purchase.
That's right. That's fine. We can just watch on HBO anyway.
Exactly. Until they want it to go away.
That's right. That's right. Although they're deciding to put it into a mystery genre, so I guess they're trying to get as many people to watch it as possible.
They probably list this as a comedy. And,
That's right. That's right.
A musical.
Indie.
Exactly. Because there's some singing in it.
That's right.
So, yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, don't watch it. Unless you're really into some of the people in it.
Or just mute it and just watch the backgrounds.
That would make more sense.
Play it at Christmas and just have it as your Yuletide log.
We'll see you next time.
Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.
So it's done.
It's done.